Oh, I'm having deja vu. Welcome to the preview show for 901 Wrestling's Battle at Black Lodge 4. That's right. This is the second ever preview show for Battle at Black Lodge 4. We'll talk about that and the changes to the card as we're just 1 week away from 901 Wrestling's return to Black Lodge, return to live action, the first show of 2022. And we will preview it here over the next 30 minutes or so. And here to do that with me is the owner of 901 Wrestling, Tommy Jacks. Tommy, how are you, sir?
Doing well, Kevin Cerrito. How are you? I am super jacked up and excited to tell everybody what's going down at Battle at Black Lodge 4, pal.
Yes, we are live. We are streaming over multiple social media right now. Of course, you can always watch these videos anytime online once we're not live on the 901 Wrestling Facebook page and other social media outlets. But also, you can watch it live. Shout out to the folks who are watching us in Memorex recorded here live before the show, right? Because this always plays before the show.
Yep,
so make some noise if you're at Black Lodge right now, getting
right.
ready for some awesome wrestling action. It's your preview show live in arena as well. But yes, Battle Black Lodge 4. We did preview this back in December before Christmas. But things got shaken up. A little thing called COVID-19 ran in with some outside interference. And due to the health and safety protocols of 901 Wrestling, the show on January 1 was postponed. And because the health and the safety, of course, of not only the talent of 901 Wrestling, but the fans is of utmost importance. And so the show was postponed, but will be taking place next Saturday, February 5th, at Black Lodge. And because of that time, there's been some shakeups in the card, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Some things had to change. Some things didn't have to change, but they changed anyway. We're going to talk about all of that for sure.
The date is the big change, February 5th, next Saturday. You can get your tickets now, 901wrestling.com. It's 1 week from today as we are talking here live across the world on the internet. So one thing that is the same is still the main event was booked by outgoing commissioner Commissioner Contar. He's no longer in charge, but he is still the champion. And his last duty as commissioner was to book a match against the hottest rookie I can ever remember here in 901 Wrestling. One of the hottest rookies here in this territory, maybe of the millennium, Bobby Ford. He's got the support of the fans. And like you would not believe, he got his first win, and now he's got a chance to take down a tough task for sure for Bobby Ford, but he will have the folks there at Black Lodge cheering him on. This match is the main event on February 5th. Contar defending the title against Bobby Ford.
Yeah, the thing about it, Cerrito, I don't know if you know, but it was just Contar's birthday yesterday, right? It was just Contar's birthday. And, while he was riding high as commissioner, he set this match up, I'm sure, overlooking young Bobby Ford. But I think he might just overlook him too much. Riding high from the birthday, being champ, doing photo shoots. He might be overlooking Bobby Ford way too much because this kid's got a lot of steam and a lot of potential behind him, Cerrito.
I agree. I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy match by any means. I mean, this guy is he's not only got the crowd, Bobby Ford, but he's got the part of the reason the crowd is behind him because they can see it. You can see something in this kid every time he gets into the ring.
Absolutely.
And we will see him live at Black Lodge in singles competition against the commissioner. So that is a former commissioner. It's going to be hard for me to say, right? I'm still adjusting to all of these changes here in 901 Wrestling. It's hard for me to say.
Easy for me to say, Cerrito. It's real easy for me to say because that was something I had to take care of, and I'm glad we did. It's unfortunate that he was able to set this match up, but I mean, hey, it's unfortunate, but what an opportunity for Bobby Ford.
Yeah, what a wild world we live in here. Well, you were right all along. You were right all along. So the main event is still intact for the card. Nothing changed there. But some big news breaking since the last time we were here on previewing a 901 wrestling show, because scheduled on the card was a big tag team match, but there are changes here, and that is due to uh, a a a controversial fan favorite seems to ask for his release from 901 Wrestling, has been granted his release, but Josh Matthews is no longer part of 901 Wrestling. He was going to be in a tag team matchup at this event, but what do we know? What went down? You're the owner now, so I know you had to be the one to grant this release, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing is a lot of companies when a wrestler asks for their release, a lot of companies are not going to grant that because it sets a precedent, right?
Right.
Um, However, I've known Josh my entire career. He was my first client ever as a wrestling manager. Um, he felt like this was the next move in his life, to move to another state and really make a go at what his goals are. And hey, I know as much as I wanted Dream Street Express versus the Storm, I know the fans wanted it. But at the end of the day, just like you said at the beginning of the show, it's about the fans and it's about the wrestlers. We want the best for everybody. And then after a long discussion with Matthews, this is what we felt was best. And we granted his release.
So the lots of folks I've been getting texts from people wondering what was going on, because that really has just been the story of Josh Matthews with 901 Wrestling over the past few years, wondering what is going on ever since he joined the Storm, and I know fans want the best for him at this point. Glad he is separated from that group, but it seems like he's out of the 901 in the like the area code now. So
Yeah.
that means, of course, this is 901 Wrestling. So maybe we'll see Josh back in action at some point, but he will not be in action as part of the reunion for Dream Street Express. Has taken another detour that I guess and is
Yeah, it's apparently as opposed to the expressway, it took the off ramp, Cerrito.
the flashers are on. It's got a flat stopped. It's not happening.
Yeah.
But while Josh is gone, though, his returning former tag team partner Kevin Bless is still back at 901 Wrestling on this weekend, where Rumbles are on many minds of wrestling fans this weekend. It was the Black Lodge Rumble where Kevin Bless made his big return. Josh Matthews' former partner, the other half of Dream Street Express. He still is under contract. He still is in the 901. He is still in 901 Wrestling. And what does his future hold? Well, I'm happy to announce that I will be having a one-on-one interview live with Kevin Bless at Black Lodge next Saturday. So we will find out a little Kevin and Kevin show
Yeah.
there in the Crosstown neighborhood next Saturday night. I can't wait to. Have you had a chance to talk to him?
I have not had much of an opportunity to talk to Kevin Bless. Um, it was just, you know, seeing the situation from where I'm sitting. I know that the fans would really like to know what's next for Kevin Bless. I think, you know, he's been a 901 wrestling star for long enough that we can allot him some time and let him speak his mind. And I thought no better spot than live in front of all the people right there at Black Lodge for Battle at Black Lodge 4 next Saturday.
So he will be there, and not only that. So we had this match. They were going to this big matchup. Was going to be Dream Street Express going head to head with the Storm, and the Storm now are looking for new opponents here. So we go into the Battle of Black Lodge. They are still on the show here next Saturday, but they're going to be going against another team. Can you give us any insight on what this matchup is going to be like?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We always try to deliver what the fans want. And the minute that the things kind of popped up that caused us not to have that Dream Street versus Storm, Well, I started getting on the phone. I started getting recommendations from other promotions about tag teams that are on the up and up, right? They're on their way up, making their way through the different territories and debuting up against the Storm. We're bringing in a brand new tag team, Tradition X Design. These guys have a ton of hype behind them. I have talked to about 7 different promotions across the United States, and this is going to be one heck of a matchup, and we're actually kicking the show off with it.
All right, so we've got an announcement here. I know you had talked to me before we went live that you were going to have a match. And is this the match announcement that you were telling me about?
No.
So there is another match announcements we'll have before we go off here. This is the Battle at Black Lodge 4 preview. Next Saturday, we're previewing the event that will be taking place in Midtown Memphis, the Crosstown neighborhood at Black Lodge. If you have not been, my goodness, Black Lodge is the perfect place to see wrestling action in Memphis. There's nowhere close. It might be the best spot since we were doing things back at the Mid-South Coliseum, right, Tommy? Like it's the crowd there is awesome. The video screens, you name it, all of it is a perfect spot to watch some wrestling action. So the Storm in action. What was the name of this team again? I can't wait to see this. This is going to be their 901 wrestling debut.
Absolutely. Tradition X Design.
Tradition X Design. They got to make their debut against the Storm, which, I mean, honestly, we've been watching folks who have been paying attention since 901 Wrestling made its debut at Black Lodge, which there's been 3 events prior to this. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to calculate that here as we go into Battle of Black Lodge 4. But the Storm has been having some issues. They haven't been necessarily on the same page, and it's not their fault. Actually, personally, as somebody who has watched professional wrestling for as many years as I have since my entire life, they've been dealing with them pretty well.
Yeah.
And this feud with Dream Street was possibly even bringing them even closer together, but they were forced into a lot of situations where they did not want to be in, because they both are amazing talents. Both members here of the Storm that we're talking about here, Night Train and Prince Adonis. So we'll see how they deal here with this new. I do not want to be debuting against the Storm, is all I'm trying.
It will not be an easy task, Kevin, by any means. I can promise you that.
We've seen
they come highly touted. This team comes highly touted. So, a lot of people around the country are saying that they're one of the best. So why not put them up against 901's best tag team right now, the Storm?
Let's see it. And let's see how the Storm can work together here at this point, now that they're possibly back here on the same page. Maybe making a debut. We've seen a couple of debuts and returns of not the best of the best, I would say, to be honest here, going up against the Merc. Are these matches, Tommy, are you booking the opponent, or is Billy Robinson looking for these opponents? How are we figuring out who gets the shot here? Is this just an open challenge?
Well, I'll tell you the way that it's been going. I send out every feeler I've got for an opponent for the Merc. Now, it's no secret how he's been treating his opponents. It's no secret how quick he's finishing them. And what that's done is that's led to not a whole lot of people want to accept that 5-minute challenge. And the folks that do, I mean, you've seen it. They're kind of desperate. But we might have somebody coming at Battle of Black Lodge 4 that might just not be a pushover. We'll see. We got a new debut coming. I'm not going to tell you anything about him, but
okay. All right. This is exciting. I do. So the Merc challenge. Of course, you got 5 minutes on the clock. If you can beat them, last 5 minutes, or to beat the Merc in 5 minutes?
All you got to do, according to Billy Robertson, all you have to do is last 5 minutes. You don't have to beat him. All you got to do is last 5 minutes, and you actually get the Merc's bonus for the night. So I'm super curious to see who's going to take that money. We've got a new young up and coming superstar around the area that's going to be debuting against the Merc at Battle of Black Lodge 4. Will he be the one that takes that money? I don't know, but he's got as good as opportunity as anybody.
So another debut will happen in this. So we got a tag team debut, also a debut here for the Merc Challenge. All right, Tommy. So we knew the Merc was going to have a challenge. That's what it's going. We knew the Storm was going to be in action. The main event we know about. I know there's a match. You're holding back on this match announcement that you said. Do you have can you tell us
Well,
what
yeah,
it's going
I
gonna
can
be,
I can tell you.
or can you get
I
me a graphic so we can, or get the graphic people something
Yeah,
to put up
yeah,
here on the screen here?
absolutely. Because I've speaking of issues, I've been having a few issues lately myself. I've been having issues with my 18-19 champion getting jumped every single event by his brother Chris Ward, and I've been having issues where the up and coming new sensation Bobby Ford can't get a fair shake because of one Dustin Anthony and Hunter Havoc. So, Cerrito, I believe I have figured out the perfect, no, absolutely perfect way to fix that. Two birds with one stone, baby, because Battle at Black Lodge 4 next Saturday, it will be Chris Ward versus Hunter Havoc.
Oh wow, Hunter Havoc back in singles action. Chris Ward. Oh, he does that. Oh my goodness, if Chris Ward is watching along right now, this is how he's finding out about this match. There you go. There's the graphic here up on the screen. But Chris Ward cannot be happy. These two, they battled each other not too long ago here during the pandemic, right? This is a
That's
rematch
correct.
of the empty arena match that we saw back at Virtual Memphis Beer Fest.
Yeah, Virtual Memphis Beer Fest. These two guys had a brawl all over the bar, and I went over it. But that's not why this is here now. Yeah, it's got some implications. There's some history,
There's
but
definitely some history.
I really think this is my perfect solution to keep these guys occupied for the night.
Yeah, I mean, you can't look past either one of these guys if you got a match book. So we'll see how Chris Ward, Hunter Havoc. This is two battle two big guys here, and could have title implications going forward across the board. Whether the next, depending how the match goes, could this be the winner go against Kantar here in the future? Or could the winner get a shot at that 18-19 championship going forward? Which
You got
other
to
news?
think.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Cerrito, but you got to think whoever wins this comes out, their stock's higher. So you're
Oh,
right.
oh, no doubt their stock is higher, and they could have a title shot in their future, no doubt about it. But there is, as we talk about the titles, there's a little question going into this event, and I know many folks are now curious about it. An anticipated rematch booked for Battle of Black Lodge 4 was a confrontation between former 18-19 champion, the Emperor of Asia, was going to make his return to 901 Wrestling and battle for the championship that he wore pre-pandemic, which of course now is being held by Shane Schaffner. But something happened, and here's the X-rays right here, Tommy. What since the last time we spoke? Developments here over the holidays, an injury to the 18-19 champion.
Yeah. While training, Shane shattered his thumb. I don't know if you can really tell right there, but that thing is in about 12 different pieces. And those two long stick looking things that you see, those are metal rods that have been inserted
That's not
into
an
his
X.
thumb.
That's not an X that we drew.
Yeah,
Those,
no, those are metal rods literally trying to hold the different pieces of bone back together. Now, Kevin, Shane Schaffner's finisher is the ankle lock. I don't know how you compete like this.
yeah, I don't know how you
So
lock in. I don't know how you
yeah,
lock in the ankle lock with that at all. So he is the champion, but is he saying he's going to the injury? according to reports, and I'm talking to Shane about this, according to what I have gathered, I mean, the injury happened around the holidays. I mean, the recovery time is
It's pretty significant. Yeah. Um, from what it looks like, um, you know, Shane is Shane. Okay. He's a pit bull in human clothing. Okay. So he wanted to go through with the match. Doctors recommended against it, and I went with the doctor recommendation. If he's not cleared, could he have signed something? Could I have gotten him to do? Yeah, I could. But at the end of the day, does that do more damage to him? And then he's out longer, you know, and that's what we got to think here. Shane's one of the most popular 901 stars we have right now. And I don't want to see his career stunted just because we know he's got guts, but he doesn't have to go in there and do this. There's a time frame for defending the title, and he's well within that. So I'm not actually allowing him to go through with this match based on what the doctors have told me.
all right. So he is out of that match. Will we
Yes.
will we see so he is he we're gonna chance we'll see the champion there? I would love to hear what he has to say about in his recovery, because he has been hard to get in touch with here.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm giving him the night off. With the things that have happened the past few events, you've seen it. It's the last one,
right.
Cerrito. You were right there, front and center. Chris Ward came out with a chair, smashed Shane with it, started choking him right there on the stage in front of God and everybody. The last thing I need is for something like that to happen with Shane already being injured. It's not a good look. I think it's too many pieces of the recipe for a possible disaster. So we're going to give Shane the night off, but his brother doesn't have the night off because he's facing that Hunter Havoc.
Right, and you look at he is the champion. Yes, you do have a certain amount of time in between your title defenses, and maybe it's lucky for him that this show was the January show was getting canceled. The injury happening around that time, but that will buy him some time, because that won't count against him on the time that he has to wait to defend the title, since that show was pulled. So that might end up working out to his advantage going forward. But I got to imagine, so Ken Dang has not wrestled for 901 Wrestling since before the pandemic. He was the 18-19 champion. All titles were stripped due to the clause of like at one point, like you just got to you can't just hold on to the title for when there's no shows going on. And so all the champions were stripped of their titles. Big Swole stripped of the 901 Wrestling Championship. Ken Dang stripped of the 18-19 Championship. And new champions were crowned when we returned to action. How long were we gone? Man, it felt like it was a long time.
It was a long time, Cerrito. It felt like close to a year. But it just, like you said, there was no way
past the traditional 90 days that you would have to defend that. Way past that 90 days. And so anyway, so Shane's currently the 18-19 champion, and the clock is ticking. So he does need to get some recovery going on here. But as you remember here, if you tuned into our last special previewing this same show, we mentioned the big news is that in 2022, this is going to kick off. This February 5th show is kicking off the first Saturday of the month for 901 Wrestling. You can plan accordingly. You can plan your trips. You can plan your weekends around knowing that 901 Wrestling is at Black Lodge on the first Saturday of every month going forward. February 5th is the first Saturday of the next month, and that is when we will be in action. So Shane knows this. The clock is ticking. But with the circumstances of health and safety protocols for COVID bumping January show, giving some a little bit more time to the 18-19 champion. But if I am Ken Dang, I would be not the happiest at this point. I'm guessing he was planning, like, he's the Emperor of Asia. He was probably planning an address and a parade. Who knows what he had planned? It tied into this matchup. I do know, though, and I have not seen this, but we did catch up with Kendang. We do have a statement from the former 1819 champion in regards to the injury, which I mean, if you look at like you cannot deny this. I don't know who would you know be upset because whenever Shane gets back into the ring, he's got a battle plan right there. You go after the hand, right?
There you go. There
He's
you
got
go.
it.
But yeah, you're right, Kevin. We put this post out on social media. It was probably not 24 hours later where the offices of 901 got emailed a video from Ken Dang and what he expects to happen at Battle at Black Lodge 4.
All right, so we can take a look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look. We got video from Ken Dang, the former 1819 champion.
February 5th at Black Lodge, I was supposed to face Shane Sharpton to reclaim my 1819 championship. Now I hear that Shane shattered his thumb in preparing for our match. He probably smashed it on purpose. I would have done the same thing if I had to face myself. So I'm going to make it easy for everyone involved. On February 5th, I'll be in the middle of the ring at Black Lodge. And Tommy Jacks, you can come on out and hand me what is rightfully mine. My 1819 championship. Because Shane won't have to suffer. And everyone gets what they want. To see 2022 be the year of the Emperor. And my 1,000-year reign will continue. All hail the Emperor of Asia, Ken Dang. And I'll see all of you on February 5th.
So Ken Dang will be there, Tommy, and he wants you to hand over the title. We just were talking about how I'll go back and do the math of when he won versus the shows and stuff, and that's things. The rules of the are a little bit different here during COVID, but he thinks he gets the title back now all of a sudden.
Yeah. I mean, you heard him. Everybody heard him. He expects me to walk out in the middle of all of the 901 faithful and just hand him the 1819 championship. Well, look, I'm going to tell you, Cerrito, and I'm going to tell everybody that's watching. He might not just get what he wants. Everybody needs to show up next Saturday. It's going to be a return for him. I don't know if it's going to be the one he wants. He's definitely probably not getting what he wants, but we'll see. I thought that was really surprising that he sent that in like that. I mean, the gall, Cerrito, at this point. I mean, how can your reign continue? You don't have the title, for one.
The way did he go? How long did he go without holding without defending that title? Right.
I mean, close to a year, right? At least, like close to that. So, it sounds like he drank the wrong kind of Kool-Aid and got filled with delusions of grandeur. But I tell you what, I'm going to address it next Saturday at Battle at Black Lodge 4, and we'll just see if I wind up coming out with a belt and handing it to him or not.
Hey, one way or the other, it's going to be some. You better get a plan together, Tommy. Is all I got to say, because it's going to be an awkward and could become an ugly situation if you don't. And I know you over the years. I know you've come up with some plans. So let's see what plays out here, because he thinks he's the rightful champion. If Ken Dang's paying attention here, I mean Shane, lasting from the beginning of the Black Lodge Rumble until the end, becoming 1819 champion, immediately the next month defending the title. Like, this guy, he is a fighting champion. He barely has one of his hands right now.
Yeah.
And once he's able to get back in that ring and defend that title, he will. So, but I don't know, maybe Ken Dang, maybe he's got a point, and he's definitely got the money to get some legal representation in the matter. So,
yeah, well, we're going to see. Like I said, if he's going to be in the middle of the ring at Battle at Black Lodge 4 next Saturday, I'll come out and talk to him. He just may not get what he wants.
But that is coming up, 901wrestling.com. So we got the title match, Bobby Ford getting a shot at the championship against former commissioner Kantar the Great, the main event. That will be the main event of the night. Ken Dang trying to reclaim his 18-19 championship any means necessary. We've got Chris Ward, the brother of the 18-19 champion, going against Hunter Havoc in one-on-one action. New tag team debuting against the Storm. And we'll have a new challenger for the Merc and much more. You don't want to miss it at Black Lodge. The first show of 2022 is next Saturday, 901wrestling.com. Battle at Black Lodge 4. I can't wait, Tommy, to get back out there and see some Memphis wrestling action. It is your wrestling show. And I'm not talking to you, Tommy. I'm talking to the people watching. It is your wrestling show. You don't want to miss it. Next Saturday night. What a card. Any final thoughts here as we get ready for Battle at Black Lodge 4?
Well, we had to postpone it. So to say that I've been waiting for a while, waiting for it for a while is an understatement, right? I know that we've been waiting, Kevin. I know all the 901 wrestling stars have been waiting. And most importantly, I know that the great fans here in Memphis, Tennessee, the capital for wrestling in the entire universe, if you ask me, are super ready for Battle at Black Lodge 4. But don't hesitate. Don't wait around, folks. Run, don't walk. If you know somebody, tell somebody. Then tell somebody to tell somebody, because this is going to be a night that you will absolutely not forget. I have taken extra measures to make sure that not only are we making up to the fans by coming right back to Black Lodge, but this is an extra special card here. And you never know when Tommy has a surprise or two up his sleeve. You do not want to miss Battle at Black Lodge 4 next Saturday.
Big show, 901wrestling.com. Get your tickets now. I cannot wait so much to see here and see how it all develops as a new year for 901 Wrestling gets underway on February 5th. Tommy, thanks for joining me. I will see all of y'all next Saturday, Black Lodge. Get your tickets now, VIP tickets. Very few of those remain, 901wrestling.com. Until then, I will see you around the territory.